I like your picture.
Thank you.
So one of you guys is at the beach. I like it.
They say if you can't be there, then at least you can imagine it, right?
Yeah. Are you also in the beach? Oops.
No, but
We are in the mountains.
here. Okay, guys. All right, guys. We're in Death Valley. We enjoy nature. How are you guys?
Good. I'm well. Thank you.
So I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
I have a hunch that you're a really interesting startup. I will tell you what I think your business model is, and then you tell me if I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
I think what you're doing is you're collecting Airbnb type or monthly furnished, good quality rental places. And then you essentially work it not much different from a Marriott type reservation system. And maybe at the same time, go around and try to get some corporate accounts where you create a network of accounts. And what you're really doing is you're essentially building a national hotel chain without the capital investment of building a national hotel chain. Am I correct? Because if you're doing that, don't worry. You don't have to worry about me. I'm in the car business. I have no interest in it, but I take my hat off because I think it's quite brilliant.
Well, that's about a 75% correct assumption with respect to the rental arbitrage model. And it's the practice of essentially creating partnerships, right, through master leases that work both for investor owners, as we call them, and our business model, meaning we partner with investor owners that are looking to stabilize their properties, as well as bring a reputable company in to manage them as well. So doing that and creating master leases, in this case, whether it's a furnished or unfurnished unit, multiple units in one location, it allows us to really do this at scale across the country. And then, I don't know if you were aware of at least background, but we came in 2018 and we've done almost 90 investments across the country in this capacity.
How many?
Almost 90.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you doing international too, just out of curiosity?
Yes.
You're going international also? I tell you why I'm interested in this, because I've spent the last 12 years of my life. I designed the most fuel efficient car in history. It's in the Henry Ford Museum. And I spent the last 12 years of my life going to venture capital companies, etc. I made a big mistake. Google actually offered me one of the founder jobs for Waymo. And out of loyalty to my then current investors, I blew it off. That would have been a many $100 million payoff, if not $1 billion payoff for me. So I'm familiar with how these things scale and how they work, but I'm in the automotive business. But part of why I want us to see if we can do business. I like that. Don't worry, I'm not in your business. The other thing I want to point out, the girl you've been talking to, Yulia, she's really quite brilliant, and she's based in Spain. And earlier she was working for an Italian guy in Shanghai, and she was essentially creating hotel partnerships all over Italy and Spain for Chinese tourists to go. So she has some tourism experience in Europe. So if you are trying to grow a European business, I think separate from the conversation we're having today about Charlottesville-Lynchburg apartments, you may choose to have a conversation with her. I know her 10 years and she's quite brilliant. She's really good. She's very diligent. But anyway, I will let that subject be between you guys, because there's nothing to do with me. And we can move toward the apartments at hand?
Well, that's an interesting point too, because I didn't disclose at least yesterday, but my full-time job is active duty military. I am a simulations instructor in the Army. As a proxy of that, I've been able to travel pretty extensively to Europe over the last 20 years, and have built quite a few relationships with different military partners that I've had a chance to serve with. And we've had some of these same conversations with investors and some friends that are currently stationed in Europe to look at profitable solutions that we could essentially take this business model and plug it into different sectors in the European economy.
Okay, well, let's proceed, and I guess we'll talk about the job at hand, which is I'm gonna let Yulia, is really her job is to rent my stuff. I'm gonna just shut up, but I'm there if there's any questions beyond, what she knows. But I understand what you're trying to do, and I sincerely wish you good luck. I think it's a bright thing, and and I think it makes a lot of sense what you're trying to do. So I think it has a possibility to really grow and be a valuable company.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. So Julia, I guess we can begin with I think the near-term target would be the Charlottesville properties, based on having a chance to see them yesterday, understanding their current condition, and basically from our standpoint, they're about 75 to 80% ready to go. And we're interested in taking on both those available units. So just wanted to recap at least the price that was discussed for both units, and then the timeline, at least from a worst case scenario standpoint. What would be, if we submitted security deposits on the units, what would be the latest you would agree to hold on to them in order to allow us to get our logistical processes in place to setting them up?
I mean, sorry, I guess it's me again. I don't know if you have a reservation system in place now, but we're about to get really busy here. So something tells me that it would be in your interest to make it a priority. But we can be flexible, and we can. Which units are we talking about?
8 and 12.
I'm okay with the beginning of May. I would be okay with beginning June too. But I think that May is going to be really busy. If you are online, if you're able to go online, you're going to book it. I mean, you can feel it. The mall is really coming alive right now.
It was actually rented this weekend.
Right. I think from a timeline standpoint, mid-May would be ideal. And what that would allow us to do, at least get my interior designer down there, and then understand the units are already furnished. So we just do a light decor touch on top of what's already there, and then get a photo shoot, another professional photo shoot done, and then we'd be ready to go. So just from a timeline standpoint, if mid-May would be okay with you, I think we could work with that date.
It makes sense. I mean, I understand you got to get a photo shoot, you got to get it up somewhere, and I understand that you might have your own little touches that every unit has, and you might have to deal with that aspect of it. So that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And what it means is that one of your representatives would come, in a couple of weeks, or in a week, or 2 weeks, or 10 days, whatever, and they would go through it. And then also, if you have a little couple of details that you want from us, it also gives us a chance to give it to you. And you're looking at a 3-year lease, right?
Yes, at a minimum. We want to do a 3-year lease at a minimum.
Listen, my life is such, I'm almost 60 years old. I will own real estate the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I want it to become lower and lower maintenance. I want the best real estate. I want my buildings in really good shape. That's my job. And I want good, stable tenants. So you come to 3 years, you're liable to be there for the next 22 years. You know, if you like it, if the location works for you or whatever. I believe in people in working with stuff that works. So I like your business model. I think it's quite brilliant. I can see you having 50 units in Charlottesville if you become like a national force. And I can see you becoming a real company, whether it's like an Uber or any of these things. I can see you taking that bite out of the economy. I can see it. It depends on your execution, but I understand the business model. It's
Awesome.
super efficient use of capital. And guys like me are your best partner because we just want our base return on capital, and you're running like a bunch of rabbits to get more money, and then you build more value because you're building a brand and all that. And all that is not my business. And I'm fine with that, you know? So you have a way of scaling your money quite seriously without the capital expense. It's nice. It's good.
And you're spot on. And you know, as I tell my students all the time, right? As we position ourselves to go out and talk to homeowners, what tends to happen is investor-minded owners get the message, and it becomes an easy discussion based on those key points that you just mentioned, right? Being able to create a partnership. You want good, stable tenants. We're here to provide that. We'll provide our internal maintenance, which will reduce the cost on you, which then means we're able to operate effectively with some degree of autonomy, and we allow you to do things that you really want to do instead of focusing on tenant turnover and changing light bulbs.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of tenant turnover, honestly, but generally speaking, I want really stable. That's what I want. So.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Cool. So what's the process from a lease sublet addendum standpoint to submitting funds, and then how do you guys typically work monthly payments, online, ACH, etc.?
Yeah, we prefer online payments through Cosium.
Okay, great.
You can set up auto payments the same day each month, and it will be put automatically. So regarding the apartments, I don't know if we talked in details, like we have utilities included, but you pay internet apart. You just put it on your name. Mm-hmm. The internet, there is Ting. And so there are 2 apartments, right? There are 1 bedroom.
Ting, explain that Ting is a local provider, but it's really super high-speed internet. It's very good.
Yeah.
And it's in the buildings.
It's in the building, yeah. The internet is there. You just need to switch it to your name. And yeah, 1 apartment is 1,150. Another one is 1,850 with electricity, water, sewer, and trash included. Just internet goes apart.
So 1850, and then the second one was it 1950?
Yeah, 1850 and 1950. All utilities included except for internet.
Okay, the 1950 unit, is that a 2-bedroom, 1 bath? What are the?
It's 1 bedroom, 2 baths.
It's the one you called about.
Yeah, the one you called about.
The ad you called about.
And the other one is that studio. We started from the studio and then we went down.
Okay.
Great. Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay. Is it fine?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And then, yeah, I can send you a list via email. You can sign it electronically, and I can set up your online payments.
Okay. Yep, that'd be great. So we can get you a good email address to send that to and set up. You said the online system you use is it Cozy or Cosium?
It's Cozy. It's cozy.com.
Okay, great. I've already got a Cozy account, so it should be pretty easy integration there.
Yeah, it's easy setup. Okay. And the other question I have about the Lynchburg. You were not present to Lynchburg call. Did you have the chance to see the recording?
Yes. So Lynchburg, I really the key point there with the number of units that are available that we could potentially take on would be concession on the rent. So ideally for a 3-year deal and taking on 4 units, what I want to know is would you all be okay with a $50 off of each unit from a rental standpoint concession for the amount of units that we take on for 3 years?
I think honestly, I'll give you the answer. The answer is yes, I'll accept it because I like your business model and I like you guys and I understand that you got to be careful with your money and I understand you're growing a business. So the answer is yes, but I will tell you, there are 2 things that I do want. I always have a 4% escalator at the end of a year. That's kind of part of my business model. And in Lynchburg, there's no doubt in my mind that at the end of the 3 years, you will be way ahead. And I will probably continue to just raise you 4%. That's my business model. And I have some people who've rented from me for 20 years and they're paying maybe 60 cents on the dollar now in Charlottesville. Because Charlottesville was a cheaper market like Lynchburg. And Charlottesville is now an expensive market. And Lynchburg is on the exact same track. I mean, Lynchburg, the values in Lynchburg are just going to go through the roof. You can feel it coming. I've watched this movie before and I know it's about to happen in Lynchburg. But like I said to you, I'm almost 60. I have 12 years invested in this car thing. I'm taking this car thing as far as it'll go. That's what I'm going to do the rest of my life. If I get my little 4% increases and I have stable customers, I'm happy. So I will do the 50 off because when you take 4 units, that's a substantial commitment on your part. And I do want 4% increases. They're fixed. And at the end of 3 years, I'll keep doing the 4%. I'll give it to you as a promise to do it for another 3 years. And at that point, you're going to be way ahead. Your lease is going to be worth money. But it works for me. It works for my business model too. You know, I'm not going to refinance the buildings and stuff, and I'm fine. So.
And then I have a question for the utilities in Lynchburg. There are 3 units which have own electric meter.
Yeah, they have to put the meters. Oh, so they don't know that.
Well, I'm just no, we are confirming it. So there are 1 unit has electricity included, and 3 units have electric meter part. So it includes water, sewer, and trash. But 3 units have electricity separate.
You have to get your own. You have to get the meter into your own name. Where are you guys? Are you in California? Where are you?
No, I'm actually in Georgia. Tanvere's in Canada.
Okay, so you're on the East Coast. Okay, because in California, electricity costs different money than here, but Georgia is the same. So you know what electricity costs.
Right. Okay, so 1's included, 3 separately that we'll have to put in our name.
Yes.
Okay.
And we include the water. We pay the water for the building, and we have a garbage. The garbage is this is actually the future downtown mall of Lynchburg. So it's like a walk promenade right in front of the building, a walk promenade behind it, and there are these little totes, garbage totes. We pay for them, and it's included. But garbage costs money typically. But in Lynchburg, we include it. It's just part of our service. In Charlottesville. In Charlottesville, garbage is a bit of an issue. You typically have a trash sticker, and I don't know who's going to do your actual services, but I have a larger building that's not far away from there. And as long as I have it, I would be willing to let you use the dumpster there. There's a big dumpster there. So whoever does your trash, if you then get them in touch with me, I'll just tell you where to take it. They have to go 2 blocks, but they can put the trash there. And that's quite a relief for you, actually, because garbage is quite an issue downtown Charlottesville. So.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have another question. We are talking about May 15th for Charlottesville. So what do we do with Lynchburg?
Lynchburg would obviously require a little bit more time with a larger logistical whole to outfit or plan and then outfit for 4 units. So I'd say at best late May to early June would be ideal, and we'd have to go through essentially the same process, just with a bigger team, to be down there, positioned down there for at least a week and a half to take on a job that size.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's like June 1.
How about if we do 2 units? How about we do 2, because if we're holding it, I don't want to hold it not knowing it's real. So I think it's real, but why don't we do 2 units do 1 unit May 1, do 1 unit May 15, and the other 2 June 1. I want to see something rolling, because right now they're available. We have people inquiring. We're kind of in the leasing mode. This is the time of year when leasing is quite active. So I'm willing to hold them for you. I'm willing to let you go with those dates, but I want to see. Well, I tell you what, there's a simple way, actually. If you're agreeable to it and you sign a lease and you pay a deposit, then I'm okay with the June 1, because then I know you're real, you mean it. So
yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I think if we commit the funds with the lease, you'll have those funds to hold if you're okay with the date concession.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I
Okay.
want please do not be offended. I respect your business model and I like you guys. I know I like you, but I just want to see the money. There's so many people that talk about things that I've learned as a policy. I want to see the money. So if we do a lease now, I'm okay with the June 1. You can have the keys so that when you have time for your team to come down, they can come. But I want to have, a signed lease, and I want to have a security deposit in hand.
Okay.
So I'm okay with that.
Good. Yeah, we can get the administrative part of that stuff done as soon as this week, as far as I'm concerned. So then I can start to focus the team on the build process. So that'd be great. I really appreciate the concession there on the date.
Okay.
Okay, so administration. Okay, when would you like to come? If you can come before the end of April, I'm still here, so I could walk around with you.
Yeah, so probably won't be me. I don't do a lot of visiting sites. So once we get the administrative part under contract, usually we go into the build phase, which is then my interior designer as well as my operations guy, who will take the lead. So once we get an interior designer assigned to the project, they'll likely be the person that'll start coordinating with you for anything on ground that's needed.
Okay. Okay, fine. So probably not today, but tomorrow I can prepare you all the lists tomorrow morning and send you for your review. And you had your list addendum, right? I received. There was.
Yes, and for the subletting clause, it and in some cases it can just be added to the lease in the notes saying that you allow, or we can just do the sublet addendum separately, and you can upload it in the cozy as well. Either doesn't matter, just whatever makes it easier for you administratively.
Oh, sorry, could you repeat, please? I didn't get the last thing. the sublet?
What he
I
wants
was
is
just saying that you can include it, or you can just take the key verbiage from it and include it into the notes in your lease agreement.
we have a lease that's a Word document. He wants you to take his sublet agreement. which
I'll
we
put
agree,
together.
and basically just add it. So instead of having an 11-page lease, it becomes a 12-page lease.
Okay.
And it has his sublet agreement. His sublet agreement is reasonable. You know, one other thing, if stuff comes up, if you decide that you need to change something or whatever, I'm a businessman and I'm flexible and I'm very fair. I want you to be successful. So with me, you can always talk to me, you can always communicate to me. You know, you need something changed, you end up getting financing and somebody tells you need to have some clauses in the lease and it's driving you nuts. They're not gonna have any problems with me.
Okay, awesome.
Just want you to know, you know, and same, I shouldn't say this, but I will also say, if for some reason you find yourself in a situation where you have a really hard time with some space, talk to me. You know, I do want a 3-year lease. We're all moving forward with the idea that this is what we're doing. But I'm a very flexible guy. And my tenants tend to do very well. I have a lot of tenants who actually ended up owning buildings and stuff, and I really believe in raising the tide. So I think you'll enjoy our cooperation.
Awesome, and that's the goal, to create good, strong partnerships that are mutually beneficial. So awesome. So one of the, and doesn't have to be discussed now, but just once we get into day-to-day things, just whatever the maintenance protocol will be, point of contact on ground, so then we can sort out, because typically what happens is anything $250 or so below, we'll take care of. We'll count that into our operational cost of doing business, which means we essentially pass that cost on to the guest through our pricing model. But for major appliances or infrastructure issues, just once we get going, we'll just need to know what that process looks like, who's the point of contact, and what that looks like.
You just tell us and we fix it. I mean, we're not going to make the beds. I mean, we're not doing your daily maintenance. But if something's wrong, I'll send a plumber. I mean, I actually have my own electrician and plumber crew that works for me full time. So on an electrician and plumber end, I'm usually very quick, which today is hard because some of those guys are working months out. So I have pretty good relationships. We can pretty much take care of stuff pretty quick, but it's within the scam. But the other thing is, I try to fix stuff before it breaks.
Right.
A lot of people run it until the end. I try to fix it before it breaks. I don't always get it right, but that's what we try to do. So
awesome. Good deal. Well, I'm fairly satisfied. I'm good. I think I've got every question that I may have had initially out. Tandra, do you have anything?
No, I'm good. Yeah, we talked before with Julia and got everything sorted out.
Awesome. And what was your name again, sir? Oliver.
Yeah.
Okay. So great. We will be in touch. I will send the lists tomorrow AM. And we'll start from here. And any question which you have, I'm here. I'm happy to respond to help you. And if you are coming before the end of April, I will be here around. Or somebody from your team. I'm happy to meet them and help them. And we'll be in touch via email, via phone. Any questions you have, I'm happy to help you. Okay.
Okay, awesome, Julie. We'll just get you the email address for the company, and then we should be all set.
Yeah, and if you send me also the information, like the full legal information, like the name of the company, the full
Mhm.
name, what should be on the list, like the contact information which you want me to put on the list. That will be
Okay.
awesome. I'll put it on and I will send it tomorrow. Okay,
Awesome, will do.
great. Thank you.
Thanks for your time, Julia.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
All right, you too. Thanks. Thanks, Oliver.
Have a good day. Bye. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
All right.